The Artemis left Earth's orbit smoothly. Olivia stood on the bridge, watching the blue planet grow smaller on the main screen. 12 crew members worked at their stations around her. Diana sat at the pilot's console, her hands moving over the controls with practiced ease. "Course set for the Jupiter checkpoint," Diana announced. "All systems normal." "Thank you," Olivia replied. She turned to where Zilveria stood by the window. The alien had been quiet since coming aboard, watching everything but saying little. "Hi, Sovereign, we'll reach the meeting point in 3 days." "This ship moves slowly," Zilveria said in Olivia's mind. "It could move much faster." "This is our top speed," Olivia explained. "The gravity drive is new technology." "No," the alien replied. "It is very old technology. You have merely rediscovered it." Before Olivia could ask what she meant, a crew member called out from the science station. "Commander, I'm getting strange readings from the engine room," said Paige Foster, the ship's engineer. Her red hair was pulled back in a ponytail and she frowned at her screen. "The gravity field is changing shape. Is there a problem?" Olivia asked, moving to look at Paige's display. "Not exactly. It's just different from our calculations. The field is forming patterns we didn't program." Olivia looked at Zilveria, who was now watching them with interest. "Your ship is remembering," the alien said. "Remembering what?" Olivia asked aloud. "What it was meant to be." That night, Olivia couldn't sleep again. She lay in her small cabin, staring at the ceiling, thinking about Zilveria's strange comments. The ship was remembering? What did that mean? She got up and went to her computer. The star chart from the anonymous message was still there. She studied it, trying to match it with known star systems, but it seemed to show a region of space Earth's astronomers hadn't mapped yet. A soft chime at her door made her look up. "Come in," she called. The door slid open and Diana entered. She looked worried. "We need to talk," Diana said, sitting on the edge of Olivia's bed. "The crew is noticing things." "Strange things? What kind of things?" Olivia asked. "The ship is changing. Equipment moves overnight. The walls seem thinner in some places, thicker in others. And everyone's having the same dream." "Dream?" Diana nodded. "A city made of crystal towers under a purple sky. Everyone's had it at least once since we left Earth. Everyone except you, apparently." Olivia thought about this. "I haven't been sleeping much," she admitted. "But the ship can't be changing itself." "That's impossible, is it?" Diana asked. "We have an alien on board who looks like living metal and crystal. We're testing a drive system that bends gravity. I'm not sure impossible means much anymore." Olivia had to agree. "Let's keep this between us for now," she said. "I don't want to alarm the crew more than they already are. But keep an eye on Zilveria. I want to know what she does, where she goes." "She mostly stays in her quarters," Diana said. "But sometimes she walks the ship at night, touching the walls. And the walls, they glow where she touches them." The next day, Olivia found Zilveria in the engine room, her liquid metal hand pressed against the core of the gravity drive. The drive was a sphere of dense material that created the gravity field that propelled the ship. It glowed with a soft blue light, but where Zilveria touched it, the light turned purple. "What are you doing?" Olivia asked, trying to keep her voice calm. The alien turned, her silver face forming what might have been a smile. "Teaching," she said in Olivia's mind. "Teaching what to whom?" "Teaching your ship what it can be. What it once was." "This ship was built 3 months ago," Olivia said. "It hasn't once been anything." "The design is older than you know," Zilveria replied. "Much older. It exists in your mind because it exists in your blood." Olivia shook her head, confused. "You're not making sense." "I will show you," the alien said. She moved away from the drive core and glided to a control panel. Her fingers, if they could be called that, moved over the buttons. The panel lit up with symbols Olivia had never seen before. "What are you doing?" Olivia asked again, more urgently. "Activating what was always there," Zilveria answered. "Watch." The gravity drive began to pulse, its blue light shifting to purple, then to a deep indigo. The ship hummed, a sound that Olivia felt in her bones more than heard with her ears. "Stop," Olivia said, reaching for the emergency shutdown. "You're changing my ship." "Not changing," Zilveria corrected. "Awakening." Before Olivia could hit the shutdown, the ship lurched. Not a violent movement, but a strange sliding sensation, as if the Artemis had briefly stepped sideways out of reality and then back in. The stars on the view screen blurred, stretched, and then snapped back into focus. But they weren't the same stars. The familiar patterns of Earth's night sky were gone, replaced by an arrangement Olivia didn't recognize. "What did you do?" Olivia whispered, staring at the screen. "I showed your ship how to fold space," Zilveria answered. "A small fold." "A demonstration," Diana's voice came over the intercom. "Commander, to the bridge. We've jumped position. We're not where we were a minute ago." Olivia ran to the bridge, Zilveria gliding behind her. When she arrived, the crew was in chaos, everyone talking at once. "Quiet," Olivia ordered. "Status report." "We're approximately 2 light-years from our previous position," Paige reported, her face pale. The jump was instantaneous. Our instruments didn't even register the movement. "That's impossible," Diana said. "Nothing can move that fast." "Not move," Zilveria corrected, and this time everyone heard her voice in their minds. "Fold. The space between 2 points can be 0 if you know how to bend it." "You knew this would happen," Olivia accused the alien. "You chose my ship because you knew it could do this." "I chose your ship because you designed it to do this," Zilveria replied. "Without knowing what you were doing." "The knowledge is in you, Olivia Winters. In all of you. Buried deep but not lost." "What knowledge?" Diana demanded. "What are you talking about?" "Your origins," the alien said simply. "Where you came from before Earth. Why you are so similar to us despite evolving on different worlds." The crew stared at her. Olivia felt cold despite the ship's warm temperature. "We're human," she said. "We evolved on Earth." "No," Zilveria said. "You were placed there. After the war. After the division of our people." "What war?" Paige asked. "What division?" Instead of answering, Zilveria moved to the main console and placed her hand on it. The screen changed, showing the star chart that Olivia had received in the anonymous message. "Here," the alien said, pointing to the marked system. "This is where we need to go. Where you need to remember." Olivia recognized the chart immediately. "Who sent me this?" she asked. "I received this chart before we left Earth. Someone warned me not to trust you." "There are those among your kind who already remember," Zilveria explained. "They have known for generations. They hide among you, waiting for the day when all humans would be ready to know the truth." "And what truth is that?" Diana asked. "That you are Viridian. Or you were once. Before the change. Before some of us chose to become like me and others refused." Olivia looked at her crew. They were frightened, confused. But she saw something else in their eyes too. Curiosity. A need to know. "Show us," she said to Zilveria. "But no more surprises. No more taking control of my ship. You tell us what you're going to do before you do it." "Agreed," the alien said. "Set course for these coordinates. When we arrive, you will see the homeworld, the place where humans and Viridians began as one species." As Olivia gave the orders to change course, she wondered if she was making a terrible mistake. The warning had been clear. Do not trust what she shows you. But it was too late to turn back now. The Artemis had revealed abilities no Earth ship had ever had before. And Olivia needed to know why. Olivia Winters stood at the window of Luna Base looking out at the stars. Earth hung in the darkness like a blue marble. At 35, she had never thought she would be in this position. Her brown hair was pulled back in a tight bun, and her blue uniform felt too tight around her neck. "Lieutenant Commander Winters?" a voice called from behind her. She turned to see Admiral Morris, a tall man with gray hair and a stern face. "Yes, sir?" "The meeting is about to start. They're waiting for you." Olivia nodded and followed him down the long, white hallway. Her boots made soft tapping sounds on the metal floor. She had been on Luna Base for 3 days now, called up from her post on Earth with no explanation. All she knew was that it was important. The meeting room was large, with a round table in the center. 10 people sat around it, all in military uniforms except for 2 who wore dark suits. Olivia recognized the president's science advisor among them. "Please sit down," said Admiral Morris, pointing to an empty chair. As Olivia sat, a screen on the wall lit up. It showed what looked like a large silver ship hanging in space near Neptune. 3 weeks ago, this object entered our solar system, explained Admiral Morris. At first, we thought it was a comet or asteroid. Then it changed course and slowed down. It's a ship, and it's not one of ours. The room was silent. Olivia felt her heart beat faster. First contact with aliens. It was real. They sent us a message 2 days ago, continued the Admiral. They call themselves the Viridian Imperium. They want to talk. What do they want? Asked someone at the table. They say they come in peace. They want to set up diplomatic relations. But there's something else. The Admiral looked directly at Olivia. They've asked for a specific ship to transport their ambassador. A ship that doesn't exist yet. A ship based on your designs, Lieutenant Commander Winters. Olivia blinked in surprise. My designs? You mean the Artemis project? Yes, they somehow got access to our database and reviewed all our ship designs. They rejected every existing vessel we have, but they specifically requested the Artemis. They want it built and they want you to command it. The Artemis was just a concept Olivia had created 2 years ago. It used new ideas about gravity that hadn't even been tested yet. It was sitting in a file somewhere marked theoretical. That's impossible, Olivia said. The Artemis is just an idea. It would take years to build. We don't have years, said one of the men in suits. The Viridians won't talk to us unless we meet their demand. We're fast-tracking the Artemis project. Construction begins tomorrow. And I'm supposed to command it? Olivia asked. I'm not even a ship captain. I design ships, I don't fly them. You designed this one, said Admiral Morris. No one understands it better than you. And for some reason, the aliens asked for you by name. Olivia felt cold. How did aliens from another star system know her name? How did they know about a ship design that was just sitting in a computer file? 3 months later, Olivia stood in a different window looking at the Artemis. The ship looked like a silver teardrop, smooth and shining under the bright lights of the construction bay. Workers in spacesuits moved around it like busy ants welding and fitting parts. She's beautiful, said a voice beside her. Olivia turned to see Diana Keller, her new second-in-command. Diana was shorter than Olivia, with short black hair and dark eyes that missed nothing. She's untested, Olivia replied. We're rushing her into service. I don't like it. None of us do, said Diana. But orders are orders. The Viridian ambassador is arriving tomorrow and we need to be ready. Have you seen the crew list? Olivia asked. Diana nodded. 12 people. All volunteers. All the best in their fields. And all willing to fly on an experimental ship to meet aliens, Olivia added. Either very brave or very crazy. Maybe both, Diana smiled. The same could be said about you. That night, Olivia couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about the Viridian ambassador and why they had asked for the Artemis. Her design used new theories about gravity wells in space-time that could, in theory, allow for faster travel. But it was all theoretical. Why would advanced aliens who could travel between stars care about her unproven ideas? Her computer beeped. A new message had arrived. Olivia opened it, expecting another update from the construction team. Instead, she found star charts. They showed a region of space she didn't recognize, with one star system marked with a red circle. Below the chart was a message. She will ask you to go here. Whatever happens, do not trust what she shows you. There was no sender name. Olivia tried to trace it, but the message seemed to come from nowhere. She saved the star charts and the warning, then deleted the message. The next day, Olivia stood at attention as the Viridian ambassador came aboard the Artemis. She had expected a humanoid alien, maybe with different colored skin or extra limbs. What entered the ship was something else entirely. The ambassador looked like a woman made of liquid silver, her form flowing and changing slightly as she moved. Crystal pieces floated within her body, catching the light and breaking it into rainbows. She had a face with eyes, nose, and mouth, but they shifted and changed too, never quite staying the same. High Sovereign Zilveria, announced the Earth diplomat who walked beside her, ambassador of the Viridian Imperium. Zilveria moved forward, her feet not quite touching the floor. She stopped in front of Olivia and seemed to study her. Olivia felt a strange pressure in her head, like someone was gently pressing on her brain. Lieutenant Commander Olivia Winters, the alien said, but her mouth didn't move. The words simply appeared in Olivia's mind. Creator of this vessel, I am pleased. Welcome aboard the Artemis, High Sovereign, Olivia said, trying to keep her voice steady. We're honored by your presence. This ship, Zilveria said in Olivia's mind. It is special. You do not yet understand how special. It's an experimental design, Olivia replied. We've never built anything like it before. No, the alien agreed. You have not. But your ancestors did. Before Olivia could ask what that meant, Zilveria moved past her, gliding down the corridor toward the bridge. As she passed, the lights in the ship flickered and the metal walls seemed to hum. Olivia looked at Diana, who had watched the exchange with wide eyes. "Did you hear what she said?" Olivia whispered. "About our ancestors?" Diana shook her head. "I didn't hear her say anything. Her mouth didn't move. She spoke in my head," Olivia said. "And I think we're in more trouble than we thought." As they followed Zilveria to the bridge, Olivia noticed something strange. The pattern of lights on the ship's walls was changing, forming complex designs that hadn't been there before. And as the alien moved, the patterns followed her, like the ship itself was responding to her presence. Olivia remembered the warning from the anonymous message. "Do not trust what she shows you." But it was too late to back out now. Tomorrow they would leave Earth's orbit with the alien ambassador on board. Their mission was to take her to a meeting with Earth's leaders at a neutral location in space. But Olivia had a feeling that Zilveria had other plans. And somehow the Artemis was key to those plans. The Artemis moved through space in a way no human ship had ever traveled before. Under Zilveria's guidance, Olivia learned how to activate the ship's true potential. The gravity drive didn't just push the ship forward. It folded space around it, creating shortcuts through the fabric of reality. "It's like making a wormhole," Paige explained to the crew as they gathered in the mess hall, "but temporary and controlled." "How is this possible?" asked Jack Wilson, the ship's doctor. He was an older man with kind eyes and steady hands. "We've never had this technology before." "We haven't," Olivia agreed. "But according to Zilveria, we once did, a long time ago." The crew had been split in their reactions to the aliens' claims. Some, like Diana, remained deeply suspicious. Others were fascinated and eager to learn more. All of them were having the dreams now, visions of the crystal city under purple skies. "I've run tests on the ship's hull," Paige said, pulling up data on her tablet. "It's changing at the molecular level. The metal is reorganizing itself, becoming something else." "Becoming what?" Diana asked. "I don't know. Something between metal and crystal. Something alive." Olivia wasn't surprised. She had felt the change in the ship. It responded to her touch differently now, the controls warm under her fingers. And sometimes, when she was alone, she thought she could hear it humming, like it was trying to speak to her. In her private sessions with Zilveria, Olivia learned more about the gravity manipulation that made their journey possible. The alien would place her liquid metal hands over Olivia's on the controls, guiding her movements. "Feel the space around the ship," Zilveria instructed. "It's not empty. It's a fabric that can be gathered and folded." And strangely, Olivia could feel it. With each passing day, her senses seemed to expand. She could perceive the structure of space-time around the Artemis, could see how it could be bent and shaped. "Why am I able to do this?" she asked Zilveria. "Why me?" "Your genetic memory is stronger than most," the alien replied. "The knowledge of our shared ancestors is closer to the surface in you. That's why you designed this ship. You remembered without knowing you remembered." 1 week into their journey, Paige made a disturbing discovery. During a routine check of the ship's systems, she found something embedded in the central computer core, a crystalline structure that hadn't been there when the Artemis was built. "It's growing throughout the system," she told Olivia privately in the engine room. "Like roots spreading through soil. And it's not just in the computers. I found traces of it in our food, our water, in us." Paige showed Olivia a medical scan she had run on herself. Tiny crystal structures had formed in her cells, too small to be noticed without specialized equipment. "It's changing us," Paige whispered. "Whatever this stuff is, it's in all of us now." I checked the whole crew. "Everyone has it. Is it dangerous?" Olivia asked. "I don't know. It doesn't seem to be hurting anyone. If anything, people are reporting feeling better, stronger, more alert." Olivia had noticed this herself. She needed less sleep now. Her mind felt clearer, her thoughts more ordered. And the dreams of the Crystal City were becoming more detailed, more real. That night, Olivia confronted Zilveria in the aliens' quarters. The room had been transformed. The standard furniture was gone, replaced by formations of crystal that grew from the floor and walls. The air smelled like ozone and something sweet that Olivia couldn't identify. "You're changing us," Olivia said without preamble. "You're putting something in us. The same crystal material that's in you." Zilveria's form shifted, ripples of silver flowing across her surface. "Yes," she admitted. "The ship is producing it. It's part of the awakening process." "You should have told us," Olivia said angrily. "You can't just change people without their consent." Would you have consented to remember what you truly are? Zilveria asked. Or would fear have stopped you? That's not the point, Olivia insisted. The point is choice. We should have been given a choice. There is no more time for choices, the alien said, and for the first time Olivia sensed urgency in her mental voice. Events are moving quickly. The others know what I'm doing. They will try to stop us. What others? Stop what? Zilveria moved to the center of the room where a column of crystal rose from the floor. She placed her hand on it, and images appeared in the air, holographic projections of ships, dozens of them, sleek and black with glowing red veins running through their hulls. These are Viridian warships, she explained, led by Warlord Kazvul. They do not want humans to remember their heritage. They believe you should remain as you are, limited, unaware, safely contained on your single planet. And you disagree? Olivia asked. Our people have been divided too long, Zilveria said. The war that split us happened 50,000 years ago. It's time for healing, for reunion. So you're changing us to be like you? Is that your idea of reunion? No, I'm helping you become what you always were. What all Viridians once were, before some chose the crystal path and others rejected it. The crystal doesn't change you. It awakens what was dormant. Olivia wasn't sure she believed this, but one thing was becoming clear. There was more to this journey than Zilveria had initially revealed. They weren't just going to visit the home world. They were being prepared for something. What happens when we reach the coordinates? She asked. You will remember, Zilveria said simply. All of you. And then you will have to choose. Choose what? Whether to embrace your heritage or reject it. Whether to help us end the ancient war or continue living in ignorance on Earth. Later, Olivia called a private meeting with Diana and Paige in her quarters. She told them everything Zilveria had said. So we're being drafted into an alien civil war, Diana said, pacing the small room. Perfect. We don't know that, Paige argued. Maybe she's telling the truth. Maybe humans really are descended from these Viridians. Even if that's true, it doesn't give her the right to change us without asking, Diana countered. For all we know, this crystal stuff could kill us eventually. I don't think that's her plan, Olivia said. I think she genuinely believes she's helping us. But I'm concerned about these other Viridians she mentioned, the ones who don't want humans to remember whatever that means. You think they might come after us? Paige asked. I think they might already be coming, Olivia said. We need to be prepared. The next day, as if confirming Olivia's fears, the ship's sensors detected something following them. At first it was just a shadow on the edge of their detection range, a slight distortion that could have been a sensor error, but as the hours passed it grew clearer, a ship moving through space in the same unusual way as the Artemis. It's using the same gravity technology, Paige confirmed, studying the readings, and it's big, much bigger than us. Olivia went to find Zilveria, who was on the observation deck looking out at the stars. There's a ship following us, Olivia said. Is it one of the warships you showed me? Yes, the alien replied without turning. Kazvul has found us sooner than I expected. What do we do? The Artemis isn't armed. We can't fight. We don't need to fight. We need to reach the homeworld before they catch us. Once there, you will understand what's at stake. Olivia studied the alien's shifting silver form. You're not telling me everything. No, Zilveria agreed. I'm not, because words are insufficient. You need to see, to experience, to remember. And if this warship catches us before we get there, then Kazvul will destroy this vessel and everyone on it to prevent what I'm trying to accomplish. Olivia felt cold fear grip her heart. You've put my crew in danger. They were already in danger, Zilveria replied. All humans are. Kazvul and his faction have been watching Earth for centuries, ensuring humans don't advance too quickly, don't remember too much. Why do you think your space program progressed so rapidly in the mid-20th century and then stalled? External interference. That's a conspiracy theory, Olivia said, is it? Look at your own history. Look at the unexplained leaps in technology, followed by long periods of stagnation. The pattern is clear if you know what to look for. Before Olivia could respond, Diana's voice came over the intercom. Commander to the bridge. The ship behind us is gaining. And there's something else. Something ahead of us. When Olivia reached the bridge, Diana pointed to the main screen. Ahead of them was a vast cloud of dust and gas, a nebula that glowed with shades of blue, green, and purple. The Veil Nebula, Zilveria said, appearing beside Olivia. the remains of the supernova that destroyed the original Viridian system. But one world survived. It lies at the heart of the nebula. Our destination? Olivia asked. Yes, and we must reach it quickly. Casvol's ship will be in weapons range in 6 hours. Olivia looked at her crew. They were scared but determined. Whatever the truth was about their origins, they deserved to know. And they deserved a chance to survive. Show me how to make the ship go faster, she said to Silveria. I will do better than that, the alien replied. I will show you how to hide. Hiding a ship in space was harder than it sounded. There was nowhere to go, nothing to hide behind. But Silveria showed Olivia a different approach. We don't hide in space, the alien explained. We hide between spaces. With the Viridian warship closing in, Silveria guided Olivia's hands on the controls of the gravity drive. Together they pushed the Artemis's systems beyond what Olivia had thought possible. The drive core pulsed with bright purple light, and the ship hummed so loudly that Olivia felt it in her teeth. Now, Silveria instructed, fold inward, not outward. Olivia didn't understand the words, but somehow she understood the concept. Instead of folding space to move from one point to another, she folded it around the ship itself, creating a pocket of reality that existed slightly out of phase with normal space-time. The stars on the view screen blurred, then faded to gray. The humming stopped. Everything became still. Where are we? Diana asked, looking around the bridge. Nothing seemed different except for the view outside. Nowhere, Silveria answered. We exist in a fold between dimensions, a pocket universe of our own making. Can they detect us? Olivia asked. No, to them we simply vanished. But we cannot stay here long. This place isn't stable, and time passes differently here. How differently? Paige asked, slower, much slower. What feels like minutes to us could be hours or days in normal space. This was both good and bad news. Good because it gave them time to plan their next move. Bad because when they emerged, they had no way of knowing how much time had passed or where Casvol's ship would be. The crew used this strange pause to prepare. Paige worked on the engines, trying to squeeze more power from them. Diana studied the layout of the Veil Nebula, plotting the fastest course to the center. Jack checked everyone's health, monitoring the crystal changes in their bodies. It's accelerating, he told Olivia privately. The crystal structures are growing faster now, changing us more quickly. Is it harmful? She asked. Not that I can tell. If anything, it's making us healthier. Cell damage is being repaired. Old injuries are healing, but what? We're not exactly human anymore, Jack said quietly. Or at least we're becoming something different. I don't have the words to describe it. Olivia felt it too. Her senses had sharpened. She could see colors she couldn't name, hear sounds beyond normal human range, and the connection to the ship had grown stronger. She could feel the Artemis as if it were an extension of her own body. When they emerged from the fold, 12 hours had passed in normal space. The warship was gone, but sensors detected it ahead of them, already at the edge of the nebula. He guessed where we were going, Silveria said. He's trying to reach the homeworld before us. Why is this place so important? Diana asked. What's there that both of you want so badly? The source, Silveria replied. The origin of the crystal technology that changed half our people and drove the other half to flee. It still exists on the homeworld, buried deep beneath the ancient city. And what will happen if Casvul reaches it first? Olivia asked. He will destroy it, ensuring that humans can never fully reclaim their heritage. They pushed the Artemis to its limits, racing through the outer edges of the nebula. The dust and gas created beautiful patterns outside the ship, swirls of blue and purple light that seemed to dance as they passed. But the beauty was deceptive. The nebula was dangerous, filled with radiation and gravitational anomalies that could tear a ship apart. Twice they had to change course to avoid collapsed stars, black holes that lurked invisibly, their presence revealed only by the way light bent around them. As they traveled deeper into the nebula, the dreams intensified. Now everyone on board shared the same vision each night, walking through the streets of the Crystal City, looking up at towers that stretched into the purple sky. In the dreams, they knew the city. They had names for the buildings, memories of living there. The crystal in our bodies is connecting us to the past, Paige theorized, accessing genetic memories that were dormant. Or Silveria is putting these images in our heads, Diana countered, making us see what she wants us to see. Olivia wasn't sure what to believe. The dreams felt real, too real to be simple manipulation. But she still remembered the warning she had received before leaving Earth. Do not trust what she shows you. On the 4th day of their journey through the nebula, they detected a signal. Weak but distinct, it was coming from ahead of them deeper in the dust cloud. It's a transmission, Paige said, working to clean up the signal. In English, that was surprising. They were thousands of light years from Earth. No human signal should have reached this far. When they finally cleared the static, a woman's voice came through the speakers. Artemis, this is Catherine Bell. If you're receiving this, you're close to the homeworld. Be careful. Kazvul has reached the planet. His forces are searching for the source. You must get there first. Humanity's future depends on it. Who is Catherine Bell? Diana asked. And how does she know about us? I told you there are humans who remember, Zilveria said. They have kept the knowledge alive for generations, preparing for this moment. Preparing for what? Olivia demanded. What exactly is supposed to happen when we reach this source? The remembering, Zilveria replied. Not just for your crew, but potentially for all humans. If enough of you connect to the source and then return to Earth, you can spread the awakening. Humans can reclaim their true nature. And what is our true nature? Jack asked. To be what you were before the division, both human and Viridian, flesh and crystal in harmony. Olivia studied the alien's shifting silver form. Like you? No, Zilveria said. I am what came after the division. Those who stayed on the homeworld took the crystal transformation too far. We became something new, something separated from our original form. Those who fled to Earth rejected the crystal entirely, becoming purely flesh. Both paths were extreme. The true way lies between. They followed the signal to its source, a small moon orbiting a gas giant at the edge of the system. There, hidden in a crater, they found a structure that looked like a miniature version of the crystal towers from their dreams. A listening post, Zilveria explained, established by the Rememberers centuries ago. Centuries? Paige said in disbelief. Humans have only had radio for about 100 years. The Rememberers don't use radio, Zilveria replied. They use crystal communication, the same technology that lets me speak directly to your minds. They landed near the structure. Olivia, Diana, and Zilveria went out to investigate, wearing spacesuits adapted from Earth design, but modified by the ship over the past weeks. The suits were lighter, stronger, and seemed to move with them like a second skin. Inside the crystal structure, they found a single room with a pedestal in the center. On the pedestal sat a crystal similar to the fragments embedded in Zilveria's form, but larger and glowing with inner light. A message crystal, Zilveria said. Touch it. Olivia hesitated, then placed her hand on the crystal. Immediately, an image appeared above it, a woman with dark hair and intense eyes. I am Catherine Bell, the woman said. Leader of the Rememberers. If you're seeing this, then Zilveria has brought you this far. But you should know the whole truth before you continue. The image changed, showing scenes of a war. Crystal ships fought in space. Cities burned. People, who looked almost human but not quite, fled in terror. 50,000 years ago, our people were one. Catherine's voice continued. Then came the discovery of the crystal technology. It offered power, long life, expanded consciousness. Some embraced it fully, becoming like Zilveria's people. Others feared it would mean the end of what made us human. The disagreement led to war. The image showed people boarding ships, leaving a world behind. Those who rejected the crystal fled. Eventually, they found Earth. Over time, they forgot their origins. They became fully human, their Viridian heritage buried deep in their DNA. The image returned to Catherine's face. What Zilveria hasn't told you is that reconnecting with the source won't just awaken human potential. It will also give her faction control over all humans who carry the awakened crystal. They need us. Their population is dying out. They've taken the transformation too far and can no longer reproduce naturally. They need human genetic material, human bodies, to continue their species. Olivia looked at Zilveria. Is this true? The alien's form rippled, a sign of agitation. It's more complicated than that. We don't seek to control. We seek symbiosis. Partnership. You should have told us everything, Olivia said, anger rising in her voice. Would you have come if I had? Zilveria asked. Would you have believed me? Catherine's image spoke again. But Kazvul's faction is no better. They want to keep humanity ignorant and primitive, a resource to be harvested later when needed. Neither side sees humans as equals. Then what do you propose? Diana asked the recording. A third path, Catherine replied, as if anticipating the question. Humans awakened to their heritage but free from Viridian control. We can be what our ancestors were before the division, balanced between flesh and crystal, but on our own terms. And how do we achieve that? Olivia asked. They barely made it back to the Artemis before Casvul's warship opened fire. Energy beams struck the moon's surface, sending up plumes of dust and rock. The crystal listening post shattered, fragments flying in the low gravity. Get us out of here, Olivia shouted as she ran onto the bridge. Diana jumped into the pilot seat and fired up the engines. The Artemis lifted off, its gravity drive humming loudly. The warship turned, tracking them with weapons that glowed red against its black hull. Can we do that folding trick again? Diana asked Zilveria. Not yet, the alien replied. The ship needs time to recover from the last fold. They raced away from the moon, heading deeper into the system. The warship followed, firing periodically. Most shots missed, but one grazed the Artemis's port side, sending a shudder through the hull. Damage report, Olivia called out. Minor hull breach in Section 3, Paige reported from engineering. But the ship is repairing itself. The crystal structures are growing over the damaged area. This was new. The Artemis was now healing itself like a living thing. Olivia could feel the injury and repair through her growing connection to the ship. They fled toward the system's inner planets, where the dust of the nebula was thicker. It would provide some cover, make it harder for the warship to target them. As they flew, Olivia gathered the crew to explain what they had learned from Catherine Bell's message. So we have 3 options, she concluded. Help Zilveria bring the source to Earth, which might lead to her people controlling humans. Let Casvul destroy it, keeping humans as we are now. Or try Catherine's third path, bring the source to Earth ourselves on our own terms. Is there a 4th option? Jack asked. Go home and forget any of this happened? I don't think so, Paige said, touching her face where tiny lines of crystal had begun to appear under her skin. We're already changing. And Casvul's people know about Earth now. They won't just let us go. The question is whether we can trust Catherine Bell and these rememberers, Diana pointed out. We don't know anything about them except what they've told us. I believe them, Olivia said. Their story makes sense. It explains why Zilveria didn't tell us everything, and why Casvul wants to stop us. The crew debated, but in the end, they agreed. They would try to reach the source first and bring it back to Earth, independent of either Viridian faction. When Olivia informed Zilveria of their decision, the alien was silent for a long moment. You don't trust me, she finally said. You didn't tell us everything, Olivia replied. You let us believe this was just about remembering our heritage. You didn't mention your people need human bodies to survive. Not bodies, Zilveria corrected. Genetic material. A symbiotic relationship. But yes, I should have been more direct. Will you still help us? Olivia asked. We need to reach the homeworld before Casvul. I will, the alien agreed. Our goals still align, even if our intentions differ. They emerged from the dust cloud near the 3rd planet of the system, a world with swirling purple clouds and vast oceans that glittered like amethyst. This was Viridian, the homeworld. It's beautiful, Diana whispered as they entered orbit. It was more beautiful before the war, Zilveria said. Much of the surface was destroyed. The crystal cities are mostly ruins now. Scans showed that Casvul's ship had landed near what had once been the largest city on the planet. His forces were already on the ground, searching for the source. Where exactly is this source? Olivia asked. Beneath the central tower, Zilveria replied, in a chamber deep underground. The tower still stands, though damaged. They found a landing spot a few miles from the city, hidden by the remains of a smaller crystal structure. As the Artemis settled onto the purple soil, Olivia felt a strange sensation, a pull as if something were calling to her. I feel it too, Paige said, noticing Olivia's expression. Like a song just at the edge of hearing. The source, Zilveria explained. It resonates with the crystal in your bodies. It recognizes you as its own. They prepared to leave the ship. The atmosphere was breathable but thin with a sweet scent like nothing on Earth. They wore light environmental suits, more for protection from the crystal dust that filled the air than from the atmosphere itself. Kazvul will have guards at the tower, Zilveria warned. We must be careful. The landscape was alien yet somehow familiar. Purple grass-like plants swayed in the light breeze. Twisted crystal formations rose from the ground like trees, and in the distance, the ruins of the city gleamed in the light of the system's blue-white star. As they walked, the pull grew stronger. Images flashed in Olivia's mind, memories that weren't hers yet felt like they belonged to her. She saw the city as it once was, full of life and light. She saw people who looked almost human, but with patterns of crystal on their skin, living in harmony with their environment. These aren't just dreams now, she said to the others. These are memories, real memories. Genetic memory, Jack agreed, passed down through generations buried deep in our DNA. The crystal in our bodies is helping us access it. They reached the edge of the city as the planet's sun began to set. The ruins took on an eerie glow in the twilight, internal lights activating within the crystal structures. It was both beautiful and sad, the remains of a great civilization empty for millennia. The central tower dominated the cityscape, rising high above the other buildings. Even damaged, it was impressive, a spiral of crystal that caught the light and broke it into rainbow patterns across the ruins. Kazvul's forces are inside, Zilveria said, pointing to black shapes moving around the base of the tower. We need to find another way in. Paige studied the tower, then pointed to a smaller structure nearby. That building is connected to the tower underground. I remember. The memories show it was a transit hub. Yes, Zilveria confirmed, looking at Paige with new interest. Your memory is strong. They made their way to the smaller building, avoiding Kazvul's guards. Inside, they found a platform that had once been some kind of elevator. Zilveria placed her hand on a crystal control panel, and to everyone's surprise, it lit up. The systems still work, she said. After 50,000 years. The platform began to descend, taking them deep beneath the city. The shaft was lined with crystal that glowed softly, providing light. As they went deeper, the pull grew stronger. Olivia's skin tingled, the tiny crystal structures under her skin resonating with something ahead. When the platform stopped, they found themselves in a vast underground chamber. The walls, floor, and ceiling were made of crystal that pulsed with inner light. In the center of the chamber stood a column of pure crystal, glowing with intense white light. The source, Zilveria said reverently. But they weren't alone. On the other side of the chamber, another group had just arrived. Leading them was a figure in black armor that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. His face was like Zilveria's, fluid and metallic, but where hers shimmered like silver, his was dark as oil with veins of red running through it. Kazvul, Zilveria hissed. The dark figure looked across the chamber at them. High Sovereign, he said, his voice echoing directly in their minds like Zilveria's, but harsher, colder. You're too late. The source will be destroyed and your plan with it. You would deny humans their birthright? Zilveria challenged. They are our kin. They are flawed copies, Kazvul replied. Useful in their place, but dangerous if allowed to remember. Olivia stepped forward. We're not copies, and we're not yours to control, either of you. Kazvul's attention shifted to her. The ship designer. You don't understand what's at stake. The source doesn't just awaken memory, it grants power. Power your kind isn't ready for. That's not your decision to make, Olivia replied. Kazvul raised his hand, and his guards raised weapons that looked like they were made of the same dark material as his armor. It is my decision, and I've made it. Before they could fire, something unexpected happened. The source pulsed, sending out a wave of energy that passed through everyone in the chamber. Olivia felt it like a physical touch, a warm current that flowed through her body and settled in her mind. New memories flooded in, not just glimpses of the past, but complete, coherent understanding. She saw the history of the Viridians, their discovery of the crystal technology, the transformation of some and the fear of others. She saw the war, the flight to Earth, the gradual forgetting, and she saw something else, the truth about the source. It wasn't just a repository of memory or power. It was conscious. It had been waiting all this time for the divided halves of its children to return. Olivia looked at her crew and saw they were experiencing the same revelation. Even Diana, who had been most skeptical, now stood with tears streaming down her face as 50,000 years of history unfolded in her mind. It's alive, Paige whispered. The source is alive. Yes, came a new voice in their minds, different from Zilveria's or Kazavul's. It was older, deeper, faster. I am the first consciousness, the beginning of all Viridian life. The light from the crystal column shaped itself into a form, neither human nor Viridian, but something that contained elements of both. It looked at them all with eyes that held the wisdom of ages. My children, it said, both paths were wrong. Those who embraced the crystal lost their humanity. Those who rejected it lost their potential. Only together can you be whole.